guys, what's up? I wanted to give you guys an update on how the Exway Flex was holding up for me, how my board is doing, and just still my overall thoughts about the Exway Flex 2 months later. If you want the quick answer, it is that I still love the board. It is my favorite board. And also the boards that I have the Ownboard W1S, I have a one wheel pint, of course the Exway Flex, and now I have the Exway Wave. Of those things, the Exway Flex is still my favorite thing. So I asked you guys what you guys wanted to know specifically about the board and about like how it's holding up, and I only got 2 responses, but both of them are actually very similar, and they were wanting to know about like overheating, how it's handling on hills. So I have had no issues with my board and it overheating. I think I've talked about it in other videos. Where I live, it's actually really flat. I've taken my board out now and I've ridden in parking garages. That's like the best hills I can get. One of which was actually very steep, and I've ridden I think like a 10-story parking garage and a 15-story parking garage. So I mean, you're like going up, like you're staying on the throttle the whole time. And I was not easy on it at all the whole time. I mean, I just punched it going up. My board had no issues. I do know still that some people have had some issues. I will say the times when I've done that, it's been at night. If I go out like right now today where it's almost 100 degrees and I do that, it could be a different story, especially if I'm going to ride a couple of different parking garages. Being in the Houston area, really the only time I can pull that off is at night anyways, when businesses are closed. I've been riding with the cloud wheels still now almost exclusively. I have not taken the cloud wheels yet off-road, but I do plan to, maybe even this weekend. That's the other thing. As far as like riding my board, I don't ride like as fast as it'll go all of the time. I mean, I hit top speed a little bit here and there, but for the most part, I like to cruise. But I will say, like, I've taken my board in the dirt. I've taken it on rocks. And especially like riding trails. I did a video, I think I can probably put like a card or something up here, where I took it out and I went riding on some trails. They were not like serious trails. I mean, we're talking about a longboard out anyways. I mean, it's not going to be like super crazy stuff that I can ride on, and at least my skill level. Definitely rode like a lot of dips in the terrain. So there were some hills, and then of course dirt and sand. The sand I tried to avoid. The Flex didn't do well with the sand, and of course I wouldn't expect it to, but it did do really well. And again, within that environment, I had no issues with it overheating. The hills, again, in this case, were not even like the parking garage where you're just kind of like staying on it going up. They were just like, you know, dipping down, dipping up. So if you live in somewhere like San Francisco, or maybe I'm trying to think of hilly places I've been, like Lisbon, Portugal, somewhere like that where you've just got like insane hills, I honestly have no idea how it would do. I'm still on my original belts. I inspect my belts now a lot more before I go out, but I still hadn't even had to switch belts. But I do try and avoid riding areas that have like lots of little pebbles. So I think that with the belt covers, and I'm running the 105mm cloud wheels still, so my original belt covers still fit on there just fine. I haven't had to do any modifications with it. If you get the 120s, some people are having to modify the belt covers or just taking them off altogether. While a lot of the stuff I get to ride on is pavement, I do ride it, you know, in the dirt too, and so I want to try and keep the belt covers on just to protect the belts as much as possible, and I guess the motors and everything else. Oh, and someone's asking if I've adjusted the riot belts, and they've heard of like the screws coming unthreaded because of the screws, I guess, either having, I assume they mean not enough Loctite. I have not personally adjusted my belts, like, or needed to, but I have messed around. And then also, like, when you take the belt covers off, if you get your board and you just kind of start slowly taking it apart and looking at it, my screws all looked like they had the proper amount of Loctite. The screws had enough tension when I was taking everything off, but not too much that I like stripped the screw taking it off. So I mean, I guess that's like the best way I know to describe it. The one thing that I changed on my board, well, I say the one thing, obviously I've changed wheels, but still, was the grip tape. The grip tape on my board didn't hold up very well. The grip tape on the Exway Wave, I don't know if it's different, but it seems like it's holding up way better than on my Exway Flex. And the Exway Flex, you know, I rode it in, you know, the dirt and different things, not exactly the most ideal conditions with that grip tape. So the grip tape that I put on is actually holding up really well. I think it was like $10 or $11 off Amazon. And of course it looks really cool. You know, gotta make the board look good. I've also had questions about like comfort in riding the board and shoe sizes and stuff. So I have a women's, I think 7.5 shoe. I think that's like a UK 36, and the board is very comfortable for my feet, but again, I'm pretty small, and a lot of times I don't do like super long rides. Ride for a while, we might hop off, have a chat, grab a coffee, and then hop back on and ride some more. So I've never actually ridden the board straight for like, you know, 18 plus miles. My husband, on the other hand, he likes riding the Flex a lot too. He's got a US 10.5 shoe, I think, maybe 11. 10.5 I think, though. I have no idea what that is in any other size. He has no issues as far as like his feet on the board too, as far as being comfortable, but I will say I think he's probably pretty tolerant of stuff like that, and maybe even if he was a little bit more uncomfortable, like he just really wouldn't say much. I don't know. Also had some questions about like what combos of bushings and wheels are best, and honestly I don't know. I've only got the wheels, of course, that come on it, the rubber wheels that are 105mm, they're airless, and then I have the 105mm cloud wheels. I like them all, honestly. Now bushings, I know the bushings on there are pretty hard, and I think they did that to keep the wheels from like rubbing the wires or something like that. So as far as swapping those out, I don't have a recommendation. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of leave mine probably how they are, at least for now. I don't know. Maybe I'll change it. If someone has a bushings recommendation they want me to try, I think bushings are pretty cheap. Post it below and I'll maybe buy them and give that a try. This is a good one. Did you see any decrease in the power torque below 50% battery life? I don't have any issues at 50%, but I do start noticing it about 20%, and I would say that's probably, yeah, about 20% is where the battery sag kicks in for me. Gotta love airplanes. I asked you guys what you guys wanted to know about it, and honestly, I didn't get a whole lot of response. So if you have any other questions, just like post a comment below and I will do my best to answer them. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you will hit the thumbs up button, it really helps me out a lot, and it makes the YouTube algorithm like my video a little bit more, and so I appreciate it. I do have a coupon code for you guys from Exway. I do get a kickback from that, so just, you know, like, it's an affiliate link, and I will post that below, but it is Liz20, all caps, and you will get $20 off, you know, an Exway, whatever you want to buy. If you do use that code, also let me know, because I just want to say thank you, and I am looking forward to hopefully doing some more like board reviews, maybe even checking out some other brands. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, also post it below, because I'm really interested right now in an all-terrain board. I know the Atlas is coming, but I don't know when, and I've got some cool trails by my house that I'd really like to start riding. So as always, thank you guys again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.